All right. So now that I've figured this code out here, what we're really looking to discuss today is the idea of pullbacks. Okay? And the code that is plotting all these little lines and arrows and stuff like that are an attempt to automate the idea of a pullback, if you will, or what likely price action results in a pullback formation. So, uh, and it really goes back to the idea of the reading the price action, understanding the bars, and as I look at these different pullbacks, what I'm looking for is a double or a single bar engulf of the preceding candle. And that means, like in this particular pattern, you're looking for an engulf of this green bar right here. Okay. So in real time, as soon as this low is surpassed of this green bar, you're looking to see basically like a short signal saying that this is some type of a pullback type of deal. All right. Same thing to be said for something like this. We have one really big red bar down and back up again. So and this really is supposed to be applicable for any time frame. Um, and that's fine. We don't want to make it that complicated, but a couple things that I was actually sharing with someone earlier today was a lot of times what we'll see happen is a zone creation over here and then an immediate pullback. And it's really great to see a long signal being fired, or this I shouldn't even say it's a signal, but it's a single bar engulfing pattern being formed off of this. So in real time, as soon as this high is exceeded by a tick, it's telling you like, oh, we need to be looking long. Just so happens that this is at the open of the day here. And you can see how it kind of stair steps for the rest of the day, up and up and up. All right. Now, the other cool thing about this is there is a ranking system in the pullback. Okay, so what we're looking at is we actually did get a little long signal here from a red bar down and then two green bars up. So, but this is kind of an unconfirmed signal. And the reason why it was unconfirmed is because uh, this was like one of the first signals after it found a new low. Okay, so it needs to find two more signals before it will actually print out in this darker green color right here. And then once that's confirmed, on the third creation, or the third signal creation of a double or a single bar engulfing pullback, it will print like a confirmed, and that's actually what it says, like confirmed entry 1 bar long type of deal, And from there on out, it's only going to be printing long signals until enough short signals have it's made a new high, had a short signal, and then there's two other short signals, and it'll finally give you a red bar type of deal. Now, I can take off the little preliminary signals, but a lot of times with this lighter green or lighter red signal, what is happening with it is this may be a zone bounce. Maybe we're looking at our dead zones, and maybe it's a real nice bounce off the high of the zone, and that just happens to work out real nicely for this example. Which, thank you, Jesus, that looked that good. But anyway, so there's the high of the zone, and it comes down off the zone, and you can kind of see what it looks like from there. All right, but this may not be the best signal to take. It may make a new high, and you may get a lower signal, and then you may get a pullback, and it may be a reversal pattern. Okay, so instead of going short on that second signal that may form, we're going to wait for a third signal. Okay, and we do get a third signal and a little bit of a drop out of it. Obviously, it doesn't break the low, and we go back into the long way, and you can see green bar, a little green bar signal there, a little green bar signal there. So if you're waiting for the long signals, you could have taken those out of the zone, and then you have the third green bar signal confirming up there. Okay, so again, we're just trying to identify these little pullbacks that happen, and this is going to be the start of something new in the product line. It's going to be some type of addition. I think it's going to go straight into the APAZones 4 realm, because if we can identify the pullbacks really, really well, and this thing says, hey, you know what? You have a single bar engulf or a double bar engulf. You really need to be you really need to be attention. Ugh, can't even speak today. You really need to hold focus and be attentive to what's going on, and you really got something there. So also with the zone formation, maybe you like the zone formation, and if you see a short signal, you don't even care about it. You just see a long signal and you just want to go long. There was your first long signal formed from a new zone, and you're able to get long off of that. Also another pullback. And again, I think if we can really get the pullbacks down very, very well, it just makes it for an amazing type of indicator. Now, obviously, these markets have been trending up really, really well. So the real test is going to be, what does this thing look like when it chops? And that is a good question. Here is some chop. All right. So let's take off these zones and really analyze what goes on here. Now, remember, we're looking for like the third signal here, so we get like a third signal, and then okay. So we're going to start down here, and like let's really see how it handles in chop. All right, so we got a little bit of a short signal, possibly a continuation to the downside. It was looking to identify that pullback right there, and then push it even lower. Obviously, the low held, so now something new is forming. Okay. And it goes through a lot of chop. So we get one long signal here. Looks like we still got a possible short signal that came out of here. But now we've gotten enough long signals that we get our first long bar green, because we've had a couple failures to break new lows. And we get our first long signal there, which is, about 2 points off of the low, which really isn't bad considering, like we've had 3 long signals. The short side is now beaten, and it will only give us long signals until we get 3 short signals short again, or short pullbacks. So there's 1, 2, 3, and failure to break it, and now we're going to be getting long. So if you see the high being exceeded right here, maybe you want to take this as, even though it's one of those just a pullback signal and it's not confirmed because we haven't had 2 other long signals here, maybe you're reading context and you're saying, you know what, the high has been surpassed and I just want to get into this long trade, So that's the idea of this APA signal candle, and again, we're going to be pushing it out into APAZones 4, but we need something very systematic that you can duplicate day in and day out, So I'm hoping that this really does identify the pullbacks very, very well, and will help people do their thing. Now, this software is still in beta test. I think we're about to finish the beta testing here very shortly. But I've been watching it a little bit in the live room, in the live training room that we do, and I gotta say it really does help me. Of course, this is my entry type, so obviously it's gonna help me. um, but it's just one of those things. So if you guys have any questions, oh, I almost forgot to explain something. You guys might see some arrows pop up here. Like, you see this big arrow right here? If this signal, this double bar engulf signal, is within the high of the past, like, I think it's 300 bars on your chart, it's going to give you a little arrow along with this signal, meaning that this is possibly like an extreme high. This is really, really high up there. So be on the lookout, just because it's really, really high. And oh, did I lose? Looks like I lost connection here. Can everybody still hear me? Yes? Okay. Sorry. GoTo said I was, am I really staticky by any chance? I don't know. But anyway, it was saying that I was experiencing some technical difficulties. So anyway, those little arrows represent really extreme type of level, type of trades, so that when those arrows start forming, you're exceeding a new high or a new low by quite a bit, and it's doing like a 300 bar calculation on your chart and saying, not only is this a signal to the long side, but your 300 bars, you're at the low of 300 bars, so it's kind of interesting how that works as well. So that's the pullback indicator that we're going to be plugging into Apizones 4. If we can identify the pullbacks really well, and if we can identify the zones really well in context of where high is and where low is, then we can take an arrow like this, and I have no idea if this is a high or not. Well, it turned into a high, but let's say that we had two signals short, and then obviously it fell down really hard and really fast, and if you wanted to get into it, you could have taken one of those because you felt like maybe price was reversing off of a bigger time frame zone, but there should be probably a short signal. Oh, no, it didn't fire. So I thought there might be a short signal somewhere right in there too, but it was not there. So that's just the way that it goes. And something else that I also found out is you need to watch wicks on these candles too, because technically this red bar succeeds the low of the previous green bar, but it didn't do it with a whole lot of conviction. It was just really this big wick. And yeah, this one just happens to work out, but from a more of a general statistic type of feel, I feel like when it just wicks below a green candle, that doesn't always work out. And in fact, a lot of times it fails. So that type of a signal will never fire on that one right there, just because a lot of times that fails, So you got to be watching those wicks too. But right now, here's the current logic, and hopefully it does help us to identify a lot of the pullbacks. I should probably take away a lot of these. This is kind of cool. If you go into the indicator deal, you will see this will be turned on for the APA Zones 4, however it gets finally released. Possible down signal and possible up signal color. If we turn those to transparent in NinjaTrader, and I'll have to do this in TradeStation as well, we can only see the green and the red signals that are confirmed, as well as the little arrow candles when it's the extreme high. So sometimes in the range, this is a real good example of what it does in a range market here. So let's look. Yeah, there's probably going to be other preliminary signals, if you will, but these are more the confirmed signals. So are they at the lows or are they at the highs? That's my question. I would say you got the short signals would really have failed quite well, and they didn't really lead to anything. This is Globex trading, so it's not exactly, I wouldn't expect a whole lot from it, but the UK session opens up and, you find yourself into two real nice trend type of follow trades here, so that's kind of cool. You did get a green bar right before that, which this kind of, I shouldn't say upsets me, but I don't like that it fired there, in the context of things. And obviously this is 20/20 hindsight, and you just see this previous high being exceeded there. So yeah, getting long there, and this is a possible pullback for the long side, but as soon as it fails that and you get a short signal and price closes below that area there, that's a real good short. And then obviously this one was the money short as well. So that was a pretty decent signal right there. But you know what? That was a good pullback considering you just made a new high right here from that area of consolidation. So again, you just gotta. Not only do we need to take these signals for the pullbacks, but we also need to put them in context, which I think that's where the signals will really shine. So, but it was interesting looking at this thing in the consolidation. So I would say it's maybe 50-50. You get a few ticks, you get a 2-to-1 ratio here, and but it's not all that great. It's just kind of kind of interested to see where the preliminary signals fired as we look at that area of chop. Of course, it's kind of sad that I have to look at the Globex session for really analyzing the chop. So here's kind of what it looked like. You got your little red little red arrow there, obviously exceeding the low. You got another really great short signal. Actually, because you had space in between these two, that's kind of cool, to be honest with you. And then you got another short signal, and that's not all bad. This stuff kind of bugs me a little bit, but it's interesting just to see it without the preliminary signals in here, just because would you really want to buy right there or not? Looking at the flip-flop of price action, probably no. So that's how I take that. But yeah. So I think it's still work in progress. We're gonna be finishing this thing out in beta test, but hopefully it makes a little sense with the idea of pullbacks. And you can see, obviously, we do get a lot of pullbacks through a day, and when we can get pullbacks in a trend market, man, the thing just does really well. So I hope that all makes sense. Do you guys have any questions at all? Any questions about any other part of Apazones or what's going on? All right. Well, if not, I would like to invite everybody to the APA pub room. I don't know how much you guys, I know several of you guys are actually in the APA pub quite a bit, but we do host it during the live trading hours, kind of like now, but we usually tend to start at around 5:30 Pacific time, and we'll go until about, I don't know, 8 or 9 usually is how long I usually run it till. And again, that's Pacific time, so it's usually a few hours long, and we just talk about support and resistance, supply and demand, obviously, in our markets and what we're looking at there. So I hope that makes sense. And if you guys want to be in the room, I launch everything pretty much through Skype these days. So the Apazone Skype room always has the link when we do have the room. It's not really tied to the membership in any way, just because I don't really feel like I want the responsibility or the job of having to do something like that every single day in case, I don't trade every single day either, but a lot of times I'll put the link in there. And I don't know, would it be helpful if I mailed it out to everybody every single day too? Um, I guess it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. It's just another step that I would have to do. But would that be better for some people? Well, I guess not. Not really getting much of a response there, or maybe my mic's cutting out. I don't know. But if not, then yeah, I will. I'll just continue pushing it through the Apazone Skype room when we actually host the room. So thanks everybody for joining me today. Um, we are planning on bringing out a lot of this stuff into TradeStation land as well. Just FYI, Jeff. So hope that it does help you on that. And please let me know if you have any thoughts about that other code that I sent you. I think it was yesterday. So if you want to look me up after the meeting today, I think that would be pretty awesome. So, but hope everybody has a good one, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.